A man was lost to devils in their dread play, remade a monster, his world to degrade, repaid with power, to raise a crusade, to stand against all, till order lay slain. How he detested the works of his gods, humans whose soft flesh had once been his own. So the gifts he would take 'neath the lightless sod from the hands of one pinioned on his throne, and the devils he vanquished then set in stone, did grant him the means to twist man's blood and bone to a hateful shape the angels would disown, an army from their screaming servants grown. For years he hunted in the quiet countryside, long unheeded by the angels and his meat. Long he seeded snares and cackled to greet his fear-racked children-to-be in good time. Twixt arcane flame and monstrous surgery, the human captives were soon reborn as beasts, built for war, driven mad by the fury their fell father to their shrunken brains had leased, always starving, ever craving the feast of toothsome meat, and as their numbers increased, the life in that once lush country all but ceased. 'Twas a land of nightmares, and the deceased. But, at last, the sleeping dragon was annoyed. Angels fought for the land they'd allowed to fall, and brought forth the doom of the fiend and his thralls, and they cast them, living or dead, to the void. Unable to die midst feasting nothingness, the arch-fiend would bide there for 3,000 years, whilst his scorn and his hate and his bitterness found no outlet, and starved would disappear. So he blundering searched for his children stashed near, by spells to repair the flesh broken and speared, and their curses to mend and their madness to clear, so their souls could find rest in this prison drear. On the world he had haunted, so much had changed, for the angel inheritors of all bore the world to shame. So far did they fall from their virtuous past to a future deranged. They sided with the foe of all that lives, the king who devours whole realities. A deed their mortal wards would not forgive, even if the bargain kept them all free from unwinnable war in the Dark King's teeth. Sacrifices were sought out frequently by the angel queen, who'd seek fresh worlds to feed to her lord. By this, her own world might she keep. The gods they'd once served, in fear of this king, had slain themselves ere they could be consumed, had shamed themselves, set precedent for doom whose roughshod feeding had no hope of ending. Against this stood vindicated the fiend, whom ancient legends named the nemesis of the traitorous and murderous queen, whose schemes he'd, now, foreseen and feigned seed assist, whose soldiers, now, came to him and begged him twist their bodies to new shapes, the better to resist, and his quest to save the world, now, to assist. Heartless time made them heroes, long mourned and missed. One girl, at last, all unwitting did crack the gate of the ancient monster's prison. Her fate was to die with her destiny done. Once unfurled was her charge, that her hero come back. A far different army now haunts the land and seeks its end, that it may be made anew. The power of the false angels is not so grand, for their old conviction endures in but few, whilst the monster's malice was not renewed, and beside what humans they can accrue, remade or not, they march as one to do to death the traitors, and their bargain beshrew. Can they win and tear the hellish heavens down? Can they survive the notice of the king? Can they avenge millennia of killing? Can the fell skin-mancer better bear the crown?